So we know that when we are maintaining the mounted position, the most important thing to do is keep persistent pressure on the person's hips. We put the feet together and persistently crush the gut by driving the pressure down. That means the knees should be light, barely touching the ground, right? And the pressure is centered here. I don't go too far to one side or too far to the other side, because it's easy once I'm too much sideways for me to roll and fall off and then to come to the top position, okay? I know that I can use two anchors to help me, right? First is the hook high and the knee is open. That's my first anchor in base. And then the second anchor is the hand under the head, and my second base is this hand, right? So my anchors are the hook, and really this is a hook behind the head, and my bases are the hand and the knee. And that can happen to both sides, right? We're just reviewing here. Easy to switch, hand, hug, knee, hook, switch, hand, hug, knee, hook, right? Now though, the person's a little more advanced, and they see that when the arm is on the mat, they're looking to perhaps bring the arm close to them so they can tuck it in and roll over the arm. They figure if they can take away one arm, that's one less advantage that I have that I can fight with. So when I find myself in this position and the person starts to wrap the arm, I'm already back hook in, front knee open, but if I leave my arm very relaxed, it's easy for them to pull the arm in, tuck it, and then roll over. Now I'm in a worse position. Let's go back. I want to maintain this position. So with the arms being vulnerable like this, the first thing that I need to do, and this doesn't have to happen from the head hug. It can happen just because I'm covering low, and instead of trying to rock me side to side, perhaps the first thing to do is attack the arms. I don't know when, but as soon as this happens, I want to make sure the arm is stiff, right, to make it hard for them to break it down. Remember we talked earlier about the arms being out at 45 degrees. If the arms are high, it's easy for him to wrap the arm and perhaps pull himself up, and see the arm is bendable here. If the arm is low, below him, it's easy to bend the arm and wrap it here. So I want the arms north, the head side, 45 degrees out. Now, when I keep the arm stiff and keep a lot of friction on my hand on the mat, it's a little harder to bend the elbow. And coupled with the persistent gut crushing that I'm doing by keeping the feet together, the knees barely touching the ground, I'm arching my back and putting my hips in, when they start to reach the arm and try to bend it, it's a little hard for them. So I can hold here for a moment, and when it's time to move, this is what I do. Hit the arm again. All right, so look at what I'm doing here. I'm not moving my elbow out of the way and then looping my arm over. I want to keep my elbow in the exact same place, Perhaps turn the hand backwards like this, it's nice, and I make the elbow high, but not back. I turn the hand over and I swim inside, right back to the base, 45 degrees. If they see that because of this low swim, go ahead, I am able to maintain my base, they may want to push me to the other side. So when they do, I switch the hooks, switch the hands, anchor and base again, and they're going to start to attack here. And look, I keep my elbow where it is, and I just turn the hand and swim. Right back to the base position. Right back to the base position. Strong, stiff arm on the mat. Make sense? Okay, so without a partner, I already have this in the stiff arm, or perhaps I'm just low and covering him. When he starts to break the arm down, don't do this. The most common mistake people make is they lift the elbow and try and pull it back, and it's easy for it to get tucked into your body, and you're gone. Make sure the arm is stiff, and I keep the elbow where it is. I don't move it out of this plane. I may need to turn it up a little bit and make it high. It made it easier to see it like this. I may need to turn the elbow up a little bit and then swim. And the way to do that is to take the hand and turn it over. See, that elbow goes high, but it doesn't come back. So take the hand, turn it over, and just swim inside, right back to the base. Turn it over, swim inside, right back to the base. Same thing if I'm over here, because he rocks me to this side. Turn the hand up, swim inside, right back to the base. Swim inside, right back to the base. Make sense? Okay, a lot of little details, so help each other out. Go slow and make sure you're hitting all the components. Heavy hips, feet together, knees barely touching the ground, centered, back hook in with the foot to the sky, front knee open, hugging the head, that's the first anchor, hook is the other anchor, base with the hand, base with the knee, and when they start to hit the arm to try and break the elbow down in half at this bendable point, low swim. Or don't move the elbow, just move the hand, you'll be in good shape. Give it a try, guys. Okay, guys, when it comes to the speed and timing of the low swim, many times if I try, first of all, if anytime I rush, I miss all the important details. So it's very, very important when you train to go as slow as possible. If you think of jiu-jitsu like your meal and you eat too fast, you're going to get indigestion, right? You don't want to feel badly as a result of the training you do and then wonder why when you're trying to use it in a live situation, whether it's a self-defense scenario, a street fight, or on the mat training, that things aren't working. But I learned this, but you didn't because you took the information in and watched, but you didn't train it properly. So the important thing is to make sure you train the movements that you see properly. The best way to do that is to be careful and methodical and slow in the beginning. And the speed is going to come with practice. Right now it's important to be smooth, and really there's a nice saying, smooth is fast. The smoother you can move, the faster you will be, because when you go too fast, all kinds of other obstacles present themselves because you rush and you create scenarios that shouldn't exist. So go as slow as possible the first 20, 30 times you practice the low swing. Once you get the basic mechanics down, you understand not to bring the elbow back, but to bring the elbow high, which I can do by turning my hand over. And the elbow stays in the same place, so when he pushes, as the elbow stays in the same place and I roll, I return right to the base. You'll start to notice that the person is getting in touch with your rhythm. If you do several low swims in a row, go ahead, and it's the same rhythm. Go 1, 2, 3. So he's going to catch me, and now every time he's going to start to pull my elbow in because he's going to catch the rhythm that I'm doing this under. So he knows that when I move here, now he's going to pull, right? And there it is, and I'm stuck, and then he wraps the arm, and he can roll me. So I don't want to do the low swim at the exact same time every time. If my arm is stiff and planted on the mat at 45 degrees, that's a safe angle for me. If my feet are together and my knees are barely touching the ground and I'm persistently crushing his hips, he's going to be more focused on breathing than he is on just breaking the arm down. So I'm putting more elements in play than he has available to respond with. And that's what I want to do to keep him guessing. Another thing I can do is take advantage of the time that buys me. I don't need to immediately move into the low swim as soon as he touches the arm. Look, really try and push the arm. I can wait a little bit, and now maybe this time I go after a couple seconds here, and now the next time I wait maybe like 5, 6, 7, right, and then go again. And next time he goes, I go right away. So I want to vary my timing to keep him off guard. I want to keep the opponent guessing. I don't want him to catch my rhythm and then escape. So pay attention to this detail. Train as slow as possible and vary the amount of time that you take before you respond. Try this now when you train the low swim. All right? Go ahead.